In the quiet embrace of a serene Glendale morning, where the azure sky mirrored a perfect canvas and laughter spilled from a bustling local coffee shop, a sudden roar shattered the peace. As three motorcycles thundered into view, all eyes were drawn to the spectacle, especially when the lead biker, clad in a striking leather jacket, steered his gleaming machine to a halt. This wasn't just another day at the cafe. It was the beginning of an encounter that promised to veer into the unexpected. At one of the outdoor tables sat Kevin, a blind man known for his daily coffee rituals, and his companion, Zeus, a German shepherd with a past shrouded in the valor of K9 units. Now retired, Zeus's posture still spoke of his disciplined past, guarding Kevin with a silent, formidable presence. As the bikers approached, their leader, Jason, cast a probing glance that lingered on Zeus, sparking a palpable tension in the air. "That's a big dog you've got there," Jason remarked, a smirk playing on his lips that hinted at an unfolding drama. His words, casual yet charged, hung between them, suggesting a story yet to be told and secrets poised to unravel. Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned till the end for an unexpected twist that you won't want to miss. Your likes and comments are what keep these stories coming, so don't forget to engage and share your thoughts below. With every eye now fixed on the unfolding scene, the morning at the cafe was no longer just about coffee. It was about to become the backdrop for a story of mystery, confrontation, and the unbreakable bond between a man and his dog. Join us as we peel back the layers of an ordinary day turned extraordinary. As Jason and his companions revved their motorcycles outside the quaint Glendale cafe, their sudden appearance rippled through the calm morning air like a stone thrown into a still pond. The trio swaggered into the cafe, the clink of their biker boots on the concrete and the jingle of chain wallets punctuating their every step. Their entrance wasn't just grand. It was deliberate, each move calculated to draw attention. The leader of the pack, Jason, led with a demeanor that mixed charisma with a hint of menace. His eyes, hidden behind dark sunglasses, scanned the cafe before settling on Kevin and his German shepherd, Zeus. With a grin that didn't quite reach his eyes, Jason approached their table, his friends flanking him, forming a semi-circle of intrigue and intimidation. "Quite the guard dog you've got there," Jason commented, nodding towards Zeus. His voice carried a mocking tone, the words hanging in the air, tinged with provocation. His friends chuckled, a sound that echoed off the cafe walls, filling the space with a palpable tension. Zeus, sensing the underlying threat in their laughter, shifted his weight and let out a soft, deep growl, barely audible yet clear in its intention. His ears perked up and his stance became protective, positioning himself subtly in front of Kevin, as if to shield him from any potential harm. Kevin, though unable to see the expressions on their faces, felt the change in Zeus's body language and tightened his grip on the leash. "Easy, boy," Kevin murmured, his voice calm yet firm. "Let's keep it friendly." But Zeus's reaction was not just a response to Jason's tone. It was an instinctive understanding of the threat that Jason and his group posed. The German shepherd's training as a K9 had equipped him with the ability to detect hostility, even when cloaked in feigned casualness. Jason, undeterred by Zeus's warning, stepped closer, his smirk widening. "I was just wondering if he's as tough as he looks," he said, reaching out his hand as if to pet Zeus. The move was bold, perhaps reckless, and it cut through the morning's peace like a knife. Zeus responded with a more pronounced growl, his teeth bared in a silent but unmistakable warning. The cafe's patrons, previously absorbed in their morning routines, now watched the scene unfold with bated breath. The atmosphere thickened with anticipation, each person present sensing that this encounter could escalate at any moment. Kevin, maintaining his composure, addressed Jason directly. "He's trained to assess and react to aggression. I'd advise keeping a respectful distance." His words, though spoken gently, carried an edge of authority, a reminder that Zeus was more than a pet. He was a protector. Jason paused, his hand mid-air, the amusement fading from his face as he assessed Kevin's warning. The tension hovered like a thick cloud, the cafe silent except for the soft clinking of cups and the distant hum of traffic. It was a standoff that held more questions than answers, a moment fraught with the unspoken and the unseen. In the background, the idling engines of the motorcycles added a low, ominous rumble, underscoring the brewing confrontation, a reminder of the wild card that Jason and his friends brought into this peaceful morning tableau. Jason's taunting escalated as he boldly tapped Zeus on the snout, a clear provocation that broke the morning's earlier calm. The seemingly playful gesture belied a deeper challenge, a test of boundaries that Zeus was keenly aware of. The German shepherd's response was immediate. A low, rumbling growl vibrated through his chest, a sound that seemed to resonate with a warning. His body stiffened, every muscle coiled in readiness. Zeus's reaction was not merely protective. It was a clear declaration that he perceived Jason as a threat. Unsatisfied with Zeus's subdued but firm warning, Jason's smirk widened as he nonchalantly kicked a chair near their table. The metal screeched against the concrete, a jarring noise that made several patrons look up from their drinks, their faces etched with concern. This act, while minor, was laden with intent, a deliberate act to unsettle and provoke further reaction from Zeus. Kevin's hand tightened on Zeus's leash, a silent reassurance to his companion and a signal to remain under control. Despite his blindness, Kevin's senses were attuned to the tension swirling around them, his ears picking up the slight gasps and murmurs of the other cafe patrons. "We don't want any trouble," Kevin said, his voice steady yet edged with an unspoken anxiety. His words seemed directed as much to Zeus as they were to Jason and his cronies, an appeal for peace in the face of rising provocation. But Jason was not deterred. Fueled by the attention they were drawing and perhaps by the adrenaline of the moment, he leaned closer, his face only inches from Zeus's. "What's the matter, big guy? Can't take a joke?" he taunted, his voice a mix of jest and jeer. The cafe's atmosphere thickened, the air charged with an electric tension that promised to spark into something more serious at any moment. Zeus, trained to detect and respond to aggression, stood his ground. His growl deepened, a sound that was no longer just a warning, but a promise of defense. His stance was unyielding, his eyes locked onto Jason, ready to protect Kevin at any cost. The patrons of the cafe were now fully engrossed, their morning routines forgotten, caught up in the unfolding drama that promised to escalate with any further provocation. The moment held, a tense tableau of impending action. Jason, standing so close to Zeus, seemed to reconsider, his confidence shaking slightly as he met the unwavering gaze of the K9. The laughter and banter of his friends had faded, replaced by a silence that seemed to wait for a cue from either man or beast. In this peak moment, the outcome hung precariously in balance. The cafe, a stage set for confrontation. The community of onlookers held their breath, collectively feeling a mix of anticipation and fear, their morning tranquility shattered by the unfolding spectacle. This was no longer just a casual encounter at a local coffee shop. It had become a display of wills between man and dog, with the community as its witness. The tension at the cafe reached a palpable level as patrons began to voice their concerns. The light chatter that once filled the air was now replaced by murmurs of unease. A woman seated near Kevin and Zeus stood up, her chair scraping loudly against the concrete. With a stern face and a determined voice, she addressed Jason directly. "That's enough. You're causing a disturbance." Her intervention seemed to pause the immediate action, but did nothing to dissipate the thickening tension that now hung heavy over the cafe. Other patrons nodded in agreement, their eyes darting nervously between Zeus, Jason, and their own tables. Some reached for their phones, perhaps considering whether to record the event or make a call for further assistance. The atmosphere was charged with a collective anxiety, the public's unease a clear mirror of the potential danger that Jason's continued provocation might escalate into something more severe. Jason, however, seemed to thrive on the attention, his smirk returning as he turned to face the woman who had spoken up. "We're just having a bit of fun," he retorted, his voice loud enough for everyone to hear. His defiance added fuel to the already volatile situation, his refusal to back down acting as a blatant challenge to both Zeus and the concerned bystanders. "Fun?" the woman replied sharply. "It doesn't look like fun to anyone here." Her voice carried a mix of anger and fear, representing the collective sentiment of the cafe's patrons. As the confrontation continued, Kevin felt Zeus tense up beside him, the dog's body coiled like a spring, ready to respond to any threat. Kevin reached out, his hand finding Zeus's head, attempting to soothe the animal with calm strokes. "It's okay, boy," he whispered, though his voice carried an edge of doubt, reflecting his concern for not only their safety, but also for the unsettling potential of the situation escalating further. Jason, now clearly enjoying the drama he had stirred up, took a step back but continued to taunt. "What? Can't a guy make a new friend?" he jeered, gesturing towards Zeus. This comment pulled a few uneasy laughs from his friends, but it was clear to everyone watching that his words were far from innocent. The cafe owner, previously hesitant, now stepped forward, her expression stern. "I'm going to have to ask you to leave," she declared, directing her gaze at Jason and his group. Her intervention was decisive, a clear signal that the community would not tolerate harassment or intimidation. The crowd's mood shifted from passive observation to active disapproval. People began to speak among themselves, some expressing support for Kevin and Zeus, others calling for Jason and his friends to respect the peace of the cafe. The collective sentiment was clear, the disruption was unwelcome, and the community's patience was wearing thin. As Jason weighed his options, the tension remained, a thick veil that had yet to lift. The cafe, a place usually buzzing with the comfort of routine and the warmth of coffee, had transformed into a battleground of wills, with the community's sense of security hanging precariously in the balance. With a final glare that swept over the cafe's patrons, Jason and his companions reluctantly mounted their motorcycles. Their engines roared to life, slicing through the lingering tension like a sharp exhale, and with a rev of defiance, they sped away. The sound of their departure echoed off the cafe walls, a rumbling reminder of the disturbance they had caused. The onlookers' eyes followed the bikers until they disappeared from view, and only then did the murmur of conversation tentatively resume. As the dust settled and the normal hum of the cafe began to return, Kevin sat quietly, his hand resting reassuringly on Zeus's back. The German shepherd lay down beside his chair, still alert, but visibly relaxing as the immediate threat receded into the distance. Kevin let out a long, slow breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding. The ordeal had shaken him, not just by the confrontation itself, but by the palpable demonstration of loyalty and protection offered by Zeus. The incident had peeled back the veneer of an ordinary morning, revealing the depth of the bond between Kevin and his canine companion. It was a moment of clarity amidst the chaos, a stark reminder of the trust and mutual respect that had been forged through countless days together. Zeus had not just defended Kevin, he had stood as his sentinel against a world Kevin could not see, interpreting threats and standing guard with a vigilance that went beyond mere training. As the cafe owner approached to check on them, offering a gentle word and a complimentary cup of coffee, Kevin found himself reflecting on the unwavering dedication of his guide dog. The event, though unsettling, reinforced the invaluable connection between them. It was a profound testament to the saying that dogs are not only man's best friend, but at times, their bravest protector. The rest of the patrons seemed to share in this quiet reflection, their earlier apprehension replaced with a newfound respect for the duo at the table by the window. The atmosphere, still tinged with the adrenaline of what had transpired, now also held a sense of community and resilience. As Kevin stroked Zeus's head, the gentle touch spoke volumes, a silent thank you for the protection afforded by his loyal friend. As Jason and his group disappeared into the distance, the unsettling echoes of their departure slowly faded from the cafe, leaving behind a palpable sense of relief, mixed with lingering apprehension. The patrons, previously caught in a moment of collective anxiety, now exchanged soft, thoughtful conversations, a shared processing of the morning's unexpected drama. Sitting quietly, Kevin absorbed the calm that had settled over the cafe. His hand remained gently placed on Zeus, whose vigilant posture had softened, yet his senses remained alert, a testament to his unwavering dedication. This incident had not just been a display of confrontation, but a profound demonstration of the bond between Kevin and his loyal German shepherd. It highlighted a trust so deep, a bond so strong, that no amount of external chaos could shake it. The loyalty and protection Zeus provided went beyond the physical. They touched on something deeper, a symbiotic relationship that brought not only security, but also emotional support. Kevin's gratitude towards Zeus was immense, his heart full of appreciation for his guardian who saw the world he could not. This experience had reinforced their connection, crystallizing the significance of their companionship in navigating the complexities of life. As the cafe returned to its routine, the story of Kevin and Zeus had already begun to weave itself into the fabric of local lore. It served as a reminder of the extraordinary in the ordinary, the courage found in companionship, and the unspoken understanding between a man and his dog. If you found this story as compelling as we did, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more. Hit that like button if you shared in our moment of tension and triumph today, and comment below to share your thoughts or a similar experience. Every like, comment, and share helps us bring you stories that touch on the bravery and bonds that make us more human. Join us next time as we explore more untold tales of courage and loyalty. Your engagement means the world to us, and to heroes like Zeus.